Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the TouchGrass Wrestling podcast. I am your host. My name is Johnny Romano.
And I'm Grayson Green. I am back, and I'm back ready to get going, mate. I'm super excited about this episode. And we have the lovely, the one and only, the big man, the massive man. Let Johnny introduce, because I'm sure he's got an introduction for him.
I actually said that it's time that the big man gets the big spot. We have none other than Fayez. Fayez, welcome, my friend. Welcome to the podcast.
Thank you very much, guys. Good to be here. Very excited.
Like I say, thank you for coming on. We did put a poll out. You saw the poll.
Yeah.
I put it on, it was my personal account, Johnny Romano. Make sure at Johnny Romano, TGW, follow it. I put out a poll after our interview with Ramsey, asking the viewers who you'd like us to interview next, and the results were unanimous. They all wanted Fayez. They all wanted to hear from Fayez, and we have to give the people what they want.
Yes, exactly. I'm giving out chops, so you better watch out. But I'm here to just do the talking today.
Yeah, no chops today. There was a bit of a threat as well. I was going to get chops,
Yes,
birthday chops.
Someone's birthday, yeah, we'll save that maybe for a little bonus content.
Maybe
again.
Patreon. If you pay some money, you might see Johnny Romano get a chop.
I think we might have to do it today.
I can't.
I think we do. I think we have to put it on. But save it for save that video for later.
No, I think we need to put a poll out. People might not want me to get chopped.
Yeah, maybe.
So
They want to save you?
We'll see. Yeah, they might want to save it. They might want to see. The people have spoken.
No, people want to see the chops, mate.
Well, let us know.
People
You might
wanna
want
see
to. You might want to see Grayson Green get chopped because he's been missing for ages as well. So we don't know.
Hey, mate, if you're not willing to take a chop, I am.
Okay,
100%.
I'll take one of you. Take
On
one.
the line.
Very
100%.
brave, very
All right.
brave.
We'll see. Top
We'll
on
see.
or top off? Top on.
Top on. Top
Okay,
on.
okay.
No one wants to see this, mate. No one wants to see this.
Yeah, we need to get back in ring shape quickly. How does it feel, first of all, knowing that you got the support and the backing from the DXB fans and the TouchGrass Wrestling fans? They wanted you. They want to hear from you.
It's very humbling. At the end of the day, you know, I'm not the nicest guy in the ring, so it's good to know that people are still backing me. Because at the end of the day, I do this. I'm gonna be honest. I do this for myself.
Okay.
I'm not doing it for anyone else. So to see that people see what I see in myself is pretty cool.
Yeah, you got a good following.
Massive, yeah. I wasn't, to be honest, mate, I wasn't expecting the one to be you. I know I wasn't.
Who
I'm putting it
were
out
you
there.
thinking?
I don't know, but
People are still in anger that we've not interviewed Shaheen yet, by the way.
Yeah.
We get-
Sheen's a top star, mate. He doesn't need it.
He's a stud. He don't need the
the
limelight.
He don't need it.
No, let's share it.
Yeah,
Let's share
give
the
the
light.
spotlight to the others. I think.
Yeah, exactly.
And we've got to give the people what they want, and they wanted you. So, no complaints there. You are a big boy.
Yes.
A big boy. What kind of wrestlers were you into when you were growing up?
So that's the thing. So I was very much either very big guys or very little guys. And not necessarily in terms of wanting to be them. It was more of fascinated by them. So I would say my top would be the one that I would look at the most was The Undertaker. Just because he had such a character. He was a big guy. He didn't do all those flashy moves, but he threw in a little sprinkles here and there. A tope con hilo here.
Yeah.
A little front flip clothesline.
Yeah.
But then guys like Rey Mysterio as well. You know, those guys that went against all odds and just proved that you don't have to be that stereotypical big guy or like a middle guy. You know, you could be someone really small. So those like wide spectrum of sizes of men really just opened my eyes to like wrestling and how diverse it could be in the variety.
Well, I imagine, I remember listening to a Kevin Owens podcast. You were of a similar build, Kevin Owens.
Yeah.
He didn't know he was going to be the size he was or as tall as he was when he was growing up.
Exactly.
So his heroes were Eddie Guerrero and Rey Mysterio and Rob Van Dam, not the biggest guys. So obviously when you're growing up, you don't know.
Yeah.
Obviously with yourself, tell me where it began. Growing up as a wrestler, are you from the UAE?
Yeah, I'm born and raised Dubai. I'm
Wow.
UAE national, yeah.
Wow, that's amazing.
One
That
of
is
the
rare.
first. Yeah, so
What was it like then growing up?
yeah, growing up, when was it? It was, I think, back when I was around, like the earliest memory would be 3 years old. Back in '98, I was around 3 years old.
Very young.
Very
Yeah.
young. Making me feel old here. Jeez.
Just grew a few more grey hairs there, Grayson.
But I remember watching like WWF on TV with like my grandparents used to love wrestling. Wow. It used to be something that would be on in the house, just in the living room, just on TV. No one really followed it. My brothers at the time, my older brothers and my cousins all were big wrestling fans. WWF, WCW, back when there was Monday Night Wars.
Yep.
I remember glimpses of that, but the first thing I really vividly remember was watching the feud between Kane and The Undertaker, or at least when Kane debuted in the beginning.
Did you listen to my podcast with Randy? That was my first memory. Was it yours as well? The entrance.
Yes.
He ripped the cage.
Exactly, when he broke the cage down. Just the whole spectacle of it and the showmanship and how it was so different than your regular, just a normal singles match or whatever. Just the whole storytelling and everything really drew me in. And that's where I say my love for like The Undertaker and all that, the darkness. And because my younger brother, his favorite wrestler is Kane.
Right.
So,
rivalry straight away.
So it was a very hand in hand. And me and my younger brother are very close. So we had that Brothers of Destruction love from a very young age. And we grew up loving the Brothers of Destruction and all that. And we followed it all the way up until now. Me and my younger brother are, to this day, big wrestling fans. My older brother's not so much, but we stuck to it.
Is he still watching as well, or does he come and watch you at the show?
He does.
Oh, that's amazing. Can you imagine that?
Is he there? Is he?
Is he there?
Yeah, he's always
Oh,
there in
you've
the
got to
front row.
introduce us
Have
to
you,
him.
have you gave him a shout out at all? Any shows or anything?
No, I haven't. But I've
You not gave him a chop or
this
anything like that?
That's what I was going to say.
I've been telling him every single time. I would be like, if there came a time where I had to chop someone just out of the blue, out of anger, it would be you. You do know that, right? Because I can't just go and assault anyone. You are my brother at the end of the day.
Up to the commentary team, start chopping out.
yeah. Bring him on
Because
camera.
sometimes I do get very angry in the ring. Like when something doesn't go my way, I do take a breather outside. But there is that urge to chop someone. And sometimes these little guys here in WrestleFest just duck my chops or try and, take my hand out very early on in the match. So I really want to get that anger out. But I can't just do it to anyone on the crowd,
No, you got to pick wisely.
You got to duck a chop and hit your brother.
Yeah.
Yeah, oh, sorry about that.
Yeah. Oh, my bad.
Yeah.
We've seen your chops. That's the nickname, right? The chop keeper.
The chop keeper.
So what was like? What did you mold your style on? Any specific wrestlers at all? Like you said, you used to love watching Ray and Taker. Chops. Obviously, Ric Flair was the king of chops. You do the full hand chop, right? The Big Show chop, the frying pan chop.
Yeah.
What was your what kind of style were you molding?
So, where did the chops come from? The chops came from. It was really nothing planned, like very spontaneous. It was nothing that I thought, okay, I want to make a character out of this, or I want to build my whole persona out of the chops. It was more of, I remember we had someone who used to train with us back in Dubai Pro Wrestling, Majid Hash, shout out to you. He used to throw chops, and people used to be like, "Oh wow, like you threw chops, like they were good." This is no shade to you, by the way, Majid, but I have surpassed you in the chops. That's why I call myself the chop keeper.
Yeah, you're the
because I
gatekeeper of the chops now.
Exactly. But I remember throwing one in a training session once, and everyone just went, "Ooh." And
Get
I
worried now.
I wasn't even planning to hurt the guy. I was just,
no.
And then I was like, I was born to do this. So,
Just chop, yeah.
Yeah. So that's where it came about. And I went for that one chop, and it was chops for the rest of my life.
Has anyone chopped you once and you've been like, whoa?
Yeah. So let's talk about this. So I've been chopping people left, right, and center, and I have my chop of fame.
Oh,
so it's like a little wall
I
of
love
fame.
this.
I like this.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
I
I
like
have a little I do posts, and I haven't done one in a while, but I usually do posts of my opponent's chest after our matches.
Oh no.
I've had Shaheen's chest was one of the first, and it was all very red. Then it was Jay Lamrod after that, and then it was MK.
Okay.
But I've faced many guys after ever since. So,
Yeah.
I really need to post some more. Yeah. So that's the chop keeper. That's where I used to have that little hot chop of fame.
Did you see Akira's chops?
That's
He challenged you a bit there.
yeah.
They were some serious
we're all
chops.
backstage just going, wait, did I just hear that correct? Is
It
this
was
not a replay of my match?
Oh, it was ridiculous.
It was crazy.
Echoing.
It was crazy. But then I faced Johnny
Johnny Evers.
and that
Grace's
was
favorite.
I think that's one of the times where I was like, ooh, and I think you could see it in some of the shots we got in for the show of that specific show. You could see my facial expressions.
Like, wow.
It was really painful. That wasn't selling. That was
Really?
that was actual pain. Like, because there was a point where he removed my shirt.
Okay.
Because I usually come in with a little
Yeah.
sleeveless top. He took it off and just went to town with the chops and gave them back to me. And that was one
How
time
did
I
it
could
feel?
say that I really felt chops.
Wow.
Johnny Evers, eh?
Johnny Evers. Johnny Victory Evers.
Yeah.
Would you say you were the most powerful man in DXB? It's a big statement.
Yeah, I think I would say that. Yeah, because I think I've shown it in the ring. Like the things I can do, I haven't seen anyone else do here. You know, the predicaments I'm put in, and the ways I get out of it with pure strength. I think I'm gonna toot my own horn here and say that yeah, I think I am the most powerful man.
It's fair enough.
I agree, because you were just swatting people last time, mate. They were bouncing off you.
Oh my lord!
We couldn't believe it. With the power of this man just chucking people across the ring.
Out of the ring.
I was like, what's going on here?
I think you chucked
MK.
MK out of the ring.
Yeah, he was hanging on for dear life, but I had to get him off somehow. So
He's not a small man either. He's got a lot of bulk in him.
No, he has.
He looks small, but he's not. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
he's built. He's got upper body.
Yeah.
Anyone looks small next to you, though. Let's say that.
True,
Yeah,
it's
but-
true, it's
True.
true.
Yeah.
true, very true. Yeah.
How long you been wrestling?
Okay, so when did I start? I would say started my training in end of 2013.
Okay, so quite a while. then.
Yeah, beginning of 2014-ish. That was in Dubai. And we used to train in a boxing ring in like JLT
Oh really?
somewhere with a trainer named Caleb Hall. He was from OVW. He came down
Oh, wow.
here to the UAE. He did a show, and MK and my brother actually were in the crowd for this like random indie show in Dubai. There weren't some big names. It was very like very like people I hadn't known. No, don't disrespect to anyone who was on that show, but I hadn't known them personally.
Right.
And my brother and MK went to that show, and Caleb came along and was like, hey, you guys seem like very vocal in the show. Do you think if we had opened a wrestling school in Dubai, would it be successful? Obviously, them being wrestling fans and them being the only two there that were screaming
Yeah.
their lungs out. They were like, yeah, 100%. So he was like, okay, based on these two people, he opened his own like little wrestling school. He decided to stay in Dubai for a little while longer. And then I came the following month. So MK and my brother had started their training in this boxing ring in this little gym in JLT.
Is that how you met MK?
No, I've been
You known him
friends
for
with
years?
MK since I was 6 years old,
Oh,
7
wow.
years old.
That's unbelievable.
Yeah, we were in the same school together. We grew up.
Wow.
Yeah, we were really young. Yeah, I've known MK for a while. So
And you both started out together at the same
yeah,
time.
yeah, exactly. So he told me about it, and we went to that school, and we started off training at the same time. And then from there, it just flourished into like having to study in the UK. So I was like, okay, I'm moving out. I'm moving to the UK.
Whereabouts were you in the UK?
London. So I was
London.
in London. So I was like a hub for wrestling.
Of course, the
So,
best.
Yeah. So I was like, I need to find a place to learn. So at the time, I think it was around 2016 was the first indie show I've ever gone to. And it was Rev Pro High Stakes 2016. And
Okay.
that there was Zack Sabre Jr. versus AJ Styles. in AJ Styles' last indie match.
Wow.
The one before he went to
So-
the Royal Rumble.
That's
So when he was at
massive.
New Japan and he was just finishing up with Bullet
Yep.
Club,
Yep.
Rev Pro.
Yeah. and
That'd have
he-
been a good match as well.
it
Zack
was
Sabre Jr.
fantastic. He had so AJ Styles had the Rev Pro World title at the time, and everyone was like, "Oh, you're going to WWE, that's for sure, but you have this title. What's gonna happen?" So it was kind of like passing the torch. So Zack Sabre got the title at the end, and it was a big like hometown hero cheer.
Coming home, winning the title.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
So that was the first indie show. So after that, that sparked an interest in me to like actually look deeper into like the indie scene in the UK. So I started looking for schools, and I think I went to, it was the Projo, so Progress Dojo.
Yeah.
So I trained there for quite a while. And a funny fact is, Spike Trevay,
Progress champion.
who actually trained me at my last school I was in. I actually trained with him in the Projo, and he does like I've told him about this,
He doesn't remember.
but he doesn't remember. Obviously, like
He deserves a chop for that.
Yeah,
He's still doing it. Yeah.
no,
Chop
but
his
at
head
the same
now.
time, I was
Kayfabe.
there.
Yeah.
I was there for maybe once or twice a week. I wasn't there like a whole lot because I was just starting to study and I was getting in the groove of things. Wasn't too versed in the world of the indie scene, so I was too shy. I wasn't meeting people.
Yeah.
I didn't feel like a connection with like a family. So yeah, Spike was there. He used to train, and a lot of other guys who are now like bigger guys, I've trained with in that little school. And then after that, I had moved to. Al Snow's Wrestling Academy.
Okay. Where was that located?
It was a place called Purley.
In the UK?
Yeah, in the UK, same
Don't know.
place. And it was
Cold head.
Down south? But yeah.
it was actually up
Coalhead.
like it was in London, but it was like more North London.
Right, okay.
Yeah. And it was a little it was actually named the Performance Center for Impact.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, in the UK. I mean, Al Snow had the power back then, so
Yeah, of course.
he was naming it the Performance Center for Impact, and I was training with people like Mabali Shira, who's on Impact right now. I mean, I saw him wrestle Rebellion this past week.
Great.
So yeah, I've trained with a couple of people, but after that, I would say really jump started my wrestling journey as like really taking in things and learning. Was at the London School of Lucha Libre with Greg Burridge, who trained Will Ospreay.
Wow.
And that was a really good opportunity to like actually gather things. And it's funny I say that because it's the London School of Lucha Libre, and you're looking at a guy like me.
Well, that's
You know?
What's
what's
going on here?
That's a big leash, though.
Exactly. So here I am
That's
learning.
a grande, though.
Yeah.
Nacho Libre.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. And the funny thing is, I wasn't the only big guy there. There were so many other big guys. So I was like, oh, you're all here to learn like Lucha Libre.
I love
so, like,
that.
But it was very, very fun because I learned things about myself that I thought I could never do, but then I would actually do it. Like, I have some tricks up my sleeve that you guys haven't seen.
Oh, I can't
You're going to see
wait.
a Hurricane next week.
Yeah, we're going to see this at Sacred Sands, are we?
Maybe. I mean,
Might be time to
I have a lot under my sleeve that you guys
dust
don't
off the
know
mask.
about. I mean, I just told you a little bit.
Comes out in his mouth.
the whole thing, yeah.
Big blue and red
Fayez
spandex.
might be on Muerto.
He could be.
He could be.
Oh. Oh.
Don't see much lucha off him,
No,
though, do you?
no.
So that's amazing.
Yeah.
So what did you learn there, then?
So it was very much learning how to the most important thing that I learned there and I pride myself with is learning how to base. Because basing in wrestling at least is very important, especially if you're a bigger guy.
What land, you mean?
So like basing people who like high fly. So like being the base.
So holding them
right,
right,
them
okay.
up.
Support, yeah.
Yeah, supporting them, because that's the toughest thing. You'd usually see people where like who don't know how to base would take a Hurricane Rana and just like stumble back.
Yeah, it looks awful, yeah.
Yeah. So basing is really important, and that's what I pride myself on the most is being a good base. Because I remember even having a seminar with Will Ospreay himself, and he'd be like, "Oh, you're not only can you do like good basing, but you can also do some high flying too as a big guy." So that was the moment that I still remember to this day. And funny enough, Shaheen was with me in that training session as well.
Did you know him then?
Yeah.
So you knew him.
We were friends. Yeah, we were friends back then too. So, yeah, I have a lot of history with people like in this roster we have.
You've been here long enough, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You've been here
Homegrown.
all your life. Not
Yeah.
long
All your
enough, all
life.
your life.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's amazing, that.
Yeah.
See, I've
And-
been here 16 years, yeah?
Yeah.
Which has been a long time. So
Yeah.
you've seen this country develop in ways that you never could imagine.
100%.
Like,
Must be
obviously,
amazing.
you're fasting at the moment.
Yeah.
It is Ramadan time. But you've seen a difference in what Dubai offers now compared to what it used to be back in the day. It's more present these days. It's all right. It's not as much hidden with black curtains anymore.
Yeah.
So obviously, you growing up with all these people, you get to know these people.
Yeah.
Being here for so long, they come in, they go out. Normally, Dubai is a hub for
Yeah.
people to come in and leave.
Yeah.
But obviously, since you've based here and since these wrestlers are here for a long, long time and want to get WrestleFestDXB into the spotlight,
Yeah.
they're hanging around a lot more. So obviously, your rapport with them is beyond what many people have that are just coming in and out.
100%.
And this is why you're a home favourite. This is why you were requested.
Yeah.
And you're a local
Yeah,
boy.
yeah, that's true.
It's interesting. I mean, like you say, so Lucha Libre, so you're a man of many talents.
Yeah.
Where did that lead from there? So when did you come back to Dubai? And,
So-
and did you go to... We've heard a lot about Wrestling ME.
Yeah.
That was in the
In
sports hall.
Yeah, just down
Was
the
that
corner.
before DP'd up? Dubai Pro
No.
Wrestling?
So,
Right, go on.
Let's bring you around.
Here we
along the
go.
journey.
Go on, bring us full story time. With thighs,
So-
baby.
After I had trained at London Lucha Libre, there was Dubai Pro Wrestling going on in Dubai, and it was Dubai Pro Wrestling Academy. It was happening at the bowling arcade, Dubai Bowling Center. The one
Near the
just
Pepsi?
yeah,
The one near the Pepsi center. Yeah, that
that's
one.
the
Yeah, yeah.
HM Fitness used to be a little gym there. I have no idea what's there right now, but we used to have a huge wrestling ring there, and that's actually the place that the Nova Knox's career was born.
Wow.
The Galactic King.
Galactic superstar.
At HM Fitness in Dubai Pro Wrestling. So
Wow.
there was this little thing run by Caleb Hall, and he was not running shows per se. He was more running training sessions to like teach people because he had the knowledge.
Yeah.
He was the most versed one in the professional wrestling world. He was in OVW. He was trained by Rip Rogers. So he had the knowledge. So everyone was just going and training while I was training in the UK. I'd come back. We have a few shows now, so we're starting to like go to the World Trade Center for Dubai Sports World. We'd have shows there every Friday, just random shows, having like almost like a league. So we had a wrestling league.
Right. How did that work?
So it would be a point system. So we'd have like maybe I think it would be 3 shows or 3 events in one day. We'd do it like noon, like afternoonish, midday, and then at night. So we'd have 3 events with completely different matches, and we'd record them all. And Caleb had this fascination with a DPW All Access.
Okay.
So I mean, he was a businessman.
Yeah, he was.
He had the vision. Yeah, he had the vision.
Yeah, but
So he was
I mean,
thinking more long term.
exactly. But we're such a growing little sport here in the UAE, at least. So it wasn't as big of a hit with the DPW All Access, and I know some people are gonna listen to this and laugh because it's a little inside joke between all of us. Like we thought we were trying to overachieve a bit.
Right.
All of us were, because we all were big dreamers back then.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, exactly. So it used to be recorded. So we used to have these 3 like pre-taped shows recorded, and they would be like a point system of who would win and all of that. And then we crowned our first ever Dubai Pro Wrestling World Champion there, and it was Savage Sam.
Savage Sam.
Savage Sam.
Wow.
And he was undefeated up to that point.
He had hair as well, right?
Yeah, he was very hairy.
He was very hairy. I've seen photos.
And hair
yeah.
on his head as well.
Yeah, I've seen like the video game style things and
Yeah.
whatnot on the Instagram.
Yeah.
Savage Sam.
I'm shocked.
Yeah, it was Savage Sam, and he was undefeated up until that point. Funny fact, Savage Sam was undefeated up until the first WrestleFest show, if I'm not mistaken.
What happened there then?
Got buried.
He got buried by the new management.
I forgot who it was. Like this is
And
really
they shaved
bad
his head as well.
Yeah, because it's like Savage
Mask
Sam.
for his hair.
Yeah. So I can't remember who it was. Forgive me for forgetting, but he was undefeated until the WrestleFest era, because then after DPW there was that little stint. We didn't do so well. We were trying to overachieve. We were big dreamers. So I took ownership of Dubai Pro Wrestling. Fun fact.
Oh wow.
Me and my brother actually took ownership with Sam, and we were all co-owners of Dubai Pro Wrestling. I was moving out. My younger brother, was now going to the UK as well. I was going to do my military. I couldn't juggle everything at once, so we had decided to shut it down.
Just bad timing.
Bad timing. So we shut it down. There was no wrestling in the UAE for around a year and a half. Then Sam came along and opened up Wrestling ME.
Wow.
He has the same spot that we used to have as DPW. We had Just Play as well.
Won't give up.
Exactly, and like that was more of like and we were such a close family. Everyone was so close knit at that point. We were like the only people in Dubai who used to train. Like these people you see, like Zephyr, Jenek, or J Blade. These people you see around have been here for a while now. We've all been on this journey together, and we've become such a close knit family. And that's something that you don't get anywhere around the world. Like sometimes you go to the UK or you go to the US or Japan, and I've seen some backstage like interactions and stuff, and I don't feel it's as close as what we have here. It's because we have one show in Dubai, we have one promotion. Everyone relies on each other here. We're a helping hand, so it's a very different dynamic and vibe from when I went to the UK and when I went to the US and stuff. So
More of a team than a self.
exactly. Like here, it's more of you want to promote everyone rather than just yourself. Because at the end of the day, if you promote everyone, everyone's gonna get the exposure, not just the one person. So that was Wrestling ME. Then Wrestling ME started. We were the same family, all came back together after a year and a half. COVID hit, all that, and then we were finally back wrestling and training. We had a couple of shows in Wrestling ME that were some bangers, to be honest. They were really good matches. There was one of my all-time favorite matches was myself versus Shaheen in a last man standing match.
Ooh, I like that. Have these been recorded at all, or is just
Bring it back.
I want to say yes because they are, but then I don't want you guys to see it because I want to do it again.
All right, okay.
We need vintage commentary on that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
We could do a watch along
you
with
guys-
that.
Watch along and just commentate on it.
You
That's
should really
it, yeah.
check it out. There was fire involved. There was glass
Really?
involved.
Are you joking?
We need to see this.
What's going on here?
This could be an exclusive.
There were things that that even the ref at the time, who was Savage Sam, because he owned the company, so he was
he's
kind of the
double duty.
the enforcer in the match, and things that he didn't know that was happening in the match.
Really?
That was kind of freaking out
Wow.
when we brought the lighter out. He was like, "What are you doing? What are you doing?" And we
This
just had
is-
to go.
what's going on?
Go big or go home.
Oh,
you know?
wow. No remorse.
Yeah, so there's some really good matches back then. And then WrestleFest came along. And before WrestleFest, we were doing shows like our top record was, I think, 63 in attendance. And we were like, wow,
That's
Yeah.
good.
we made it.
That
Yeah,
is-
like,
yeah, of course.
in Dubai, especially, like you don't get that crowd for wrestling.
It's a tight
And-
hub, yeah.
Yeah, and it was in a little tiny little corner in Just Play. Like we'd have to plan it, so there was no football pitches being booked next to us. We'd have to plan it on the right time to start the show before anyone comes in. So it was nothing like you see like at WrestleFest.
I saw one on YouTube actually the other day. I watched it. It just popped up. It was Shaheen against the guy in an orange jumpsuit. Was he a prisoner or something?
I think that was QPW.
QPW. Was that QPW?
Qatar.
I'm sure it was on DXB. It was on DXB. It was in the
The
sports
jumpsuit-
hall.
Yeah, that was Psycho and
Psycho. He's at QPW.
yeah, that
and he
was
came
when he
over.
went to Qatar.
Right. Okay. So how did that pan out? Did they come over Qatar?
No.
Pro Wrestling?
Shaheen went there. So
Oh, he
Shaheen
went
had a
there?
show. Yep. Shaheen
But it
had
was
a show.
recorded for DXB.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So you were in a similar kind of sports hall.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
63 people.
Yeah.
That was your first show.
Not our first. That was actually funny enough. That was our last official Wrestling ME show, and we hit the numbers. So we were like, I think from there we went, oh, we see potential. So let's book a venue. Let's book an actual venue and see how well we can do.
So you went all in.
We went all in, literally. Yeah. So
I love that.
We did, and then the first show we got over 100 people in attendance, and we were like shocked. We were like, okay, maybe it was the space that people were like, oh, we couldn't sell out like the little Just Play. Maybe it's that they saw it was a professional venue. Now they want to come, you know. But we weren't questioning it. We were like, yeah, sure, we'll keep going, and then we just went from there.
It's the way it's grown.
It's unbelievable.
We weren't at the early shows
No.
because we didn't hear about DXB. There was no. Obviously, it's changed now. There's more sponsored ads. There's more marketing. We didn't know. We had to go digging because we're big wrestling fans.
We are, and I got a call from you.
Yep.
Got a call from Johnny one day saying me and Mrs. Romano are going down to a
Wrestling event.
wrestling. And I'm like, okay, let me grab Mrs. Grayson.
Yeah, been here 16 years.
Yeah.
Like, what are you on about?
What are you on about?
Wrestling
Wrestling.
show?
Unbelievable. Because obviously my past was like all brunches and that, you know.
Yeah,
And I know the cricket's here. I know the
Rugby
football's
seven.
here. Rugby sevens, all that.
Yeah.
But
But then
our true
wrestling, I was
love.
like, let's go.
Yeah.
So we all went down. We took the wives down.
We did.
Well, my wife's first and last one, but we'll get onto that a bit
Yeah,
later.
yeah, yeah.
She's got other duties now.
Yeah, she's busy
on
now.
triple duty.
She's very busy.
But yeah, as soon as we saw that, we're like, this is unbelievable. We got super excited. We got in the VIP section
Yeah,
upstairs.
we did. We paid all out.
We paid that because we like looking down.
Yeah.
No, it sounds really bad. We like looking down on all you wrestlers,
On all you
scums.
peasants.
Yeah, as we.
There were the cheap seats.
And then we're like, okay, wonder where it is. Wonder if there's any commentary. Wonder if there's any sort of podcasts on this. Wonder if there's anything else.
Nothing.
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 So we're like, there's a market. Like
Yeah.
you guys saw, obviously there was a wrestling market in
Yeah.
the system here.
Yeah.
we saw that. Well, are these guys getting any exposure? We would love because we're massive, wrestling.
And the best thing I think about wrestling is being able to talk to your friends about it.
Yeah.
I know it's a very tight community, and there's only us who are friends who talk about wrestling with each other. So to be able to listen to a podcast, you kind of get in the mat. You feel like you're participating when you're listening.
Yeah, exactly.
So to be able to go and do that and then speak to wrestlers like yourself and then bring in the scene, and we want to make this scene as big as possible as well, because we want to push DXB to the moon as well.
We do, because when I was younger, or even now, wrestling is like taboo. Or do you really like wrestling? You get that from people who don't understand wrestling.
Yeah.
You're like, are you that guy? You really watch that stuff, that fake scripted sitcom stuff? I'm like, yeah, but you sit at home watching Above Deck or Below Deck.
You just watch Star Wars. You know, they're actors.
What's the difference? You know what I mean? But at least these guys are physically putting their life on the line.
Oh, it does your head in. I think you
mate.
find more of a bond as well.
Yeah.
When you meet someone who does acknowledge and respect wrestling and be able to talk about that.
Yeah.
So for you wrestlers to be able to go from having a little thing and just thinking, I mean, has this surprised you how big it's grown?
Yeah.
As quickly as well.
Like, it's something that we used to think about and like make like a hypothetical situation. This all is like a hypothetical dream to us, in a way where we'd be like, imagine we could do this, or like, imagine we'd wrestle in a place with a lighting rig, you know, even something like that.
Yeah, of
something as
course.
simple as, I remember when we did our first shows in Just Play in the little sports hall. Shaheen had gone to like a place to get little lighting rigs, and like he got 2 spotlights, and I remember that changed the like mojo of everyone's mood, and everyone was like, wow, we have lights now.
Amazing. The little things.
Yeah.
Well, we went and we watched, didn't we? And there was an issue with the sound. And we're like, what's going on here, you know? But the professionalism that's gone up, the sound's improved. Now you've got sponsors on the screen. You've got all these megastars coming over.
Yeah,
Obviously, we saw the Progress show, which we'll get into as well. You had a great spot there. And the way it's just evolved, and obviously now there's a podcast talking about it, which must be crazy for yourself as well.
Yes.
There is a few things coming that we can't talk about right now, which is going to grow it even bigger. Yeah. I don't know whether you know yourself, but something's coming.
Sacred
Storm
Sands.
is coming.
Oh, 29th.
Sacred Sands.
Oh,
And obviously, we're the commentator team as well now, so don't take anything personal by it.
Yeah. No worries.
If you do hear Grayson running his mouth.
I talk shit all the time, mate. Unbelievable. I'm ready to get chopped mid commentary by
Mid-com,
people. I don't care.
I can't hear you from up there. Sometimes I'm like,
Can you hear? Can you
no,
hear?
That's
oh,
the
can
thing.
you not hear?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I'm
That.
going to have to shout louder then, yeah.
Yeah. We've been trying.
Look at that wanker.
Yeah. If you hear me stomping up the steps, you better run.
He's gone. Where's Grayson gone?
Yeah, I'm out.
Yeah.
You always duck
See me
anyway. Recording it all. Getting a bit excited. Let me take you back then. In January, you and your former tag team partner, MK, right? You've got a bit of, back and forth with MK now. You were given the chance to make your debut in the UK, right? Pro Wrestling East.
Yes.
That must have been a huge moment for you both.
100%. That was something we've been waiting for, because we started training in the UK again when we both went for our masters at the same time. We decided to go to the UK, and we started to retrain, and we kind of like, this is a little, I'm hoping my parents are not listening to this, but the main reason we went for our masters was to train for wrestling. It was
look at you now.
Yeah, exactly. So we did our whole training session, and we did that in Play Fight, which is Cara Noir and Spike Trevay's school, where it's Cara's school and Spike is a trainer there. And that was one of the biggest learning experiences ever, because not only did we learn a lot, both MK and I, but we also grew a little UK family. So that was one of the only times where I've trained in the UK that I felt that I grew to know people more and actually gain a little family there in the UK. Tom, who's Cara Noir, and Simon Spike Trevay.
Keep it kayfabe. Keep it kayfabe.
Cara Noir and Spike Trevay, brutal enemies, but
Yes.
individually, they each welcomed us in their own way.
Yeah.
And it really made us feel like we were a close-knit family, and the people we got to know there. So it was only logical for MK and I to debut in the UK together.
Love it.
So as a tag team. Everyone saw that when we were training in the school. They were like, you two need to go and do your little tag team thing. They were like, at least that was the advice we got. They were like, start off as a tag team. because everyone makes it when you're in a tag team, and then it's easier to pick from when you're done being a tag team. It's easier to get that exposure as a tag team first, then you start off. So that's what we went ahead and did, and it was surreal. Like performing in the UK somewhere where I've only watched indie shows, and like that's where we'd consider be like, oh, that's the like you've made it.
Yeah,
If
you've made it. That
wrestled,
was the
like,
big one.
a worldwide indie show, you know. So that was really nerve-wracking, but at the same time very exciting. And my younger brother also actually flew out to watch that.
That's
match in the
amazing.
UK
Wow.
too.
That is
Yeah.
amazing.
Dedication. So my younger brother is my biggest supporter, and really grateful for that, because you do start off in this business where, especially if you're from the UAE, I'm sure people around the world can relate as well, but like sometimes doing this thing is not the best look for your parents, at least when they'd see it. My mom
yeah.
would call me up after every fight and be like, or she'd call my brother actually and be like, "Can you check if he has any bruises on him? Like, are there
Such
any,
a other thing to do,
are there any visible bruises?" And then she'd call me this past week and be like, "When's your fight? When's your fight?"
Oh,
I'd
that's
be like
nice.
the 29th. She'd be like, all right. When's your fight?
Does she watch him though?
So she can't bear to watch it, but I know she's super proud, because every single time we travel or like have family friends over, she'd be like, "Show them your wrestling. Show them your wrestling.
Wow.
That's
Like,
nice.
show them what you can do."
Yeah.
And then she wouldn't watch. She'd be like, 'cause
But
she
yeah,
couldn't.
he is good. I can hear him in his chops.
Such a mum thing to do, though, isn't it? Like,
Yeah.
I'm proud of what you're doing, but
Yeah.
I just can't see my
Yeah.
son or daughter
Yeah.
get hurt.
Yeah.
You know,
Just say, look,
She's
you should look
actually
at the
been
other
to
guy.
a show.
Yeah.
She's
Really?
actually been to a show at WrestleFest. She was at the first ever WrestleFest show.
first and last.
Yeah, first
Yeah,
and
she's not
last.
been
Yeah.
since.
Yeah, she enjoyed it, but I think the thing that drew her away was actually the live music, or like the music playing. It
Just
was
a bit
very
loud.
and she's like, "This is not my vibe."
Wasn't there? There was a band playing
was
at
a
one
ba-
time where where your
Oh,
entrance
yeah.
was, wasn't
Exactly,
there?
and that was like
yeah.
one of the things that
No.
kind of like she was like, "Oh, this is a bit too loud. There's like rock music. I can't."
Just everything wrestling.
And they stopped that, yeah.
No,
Obviously they have.
Yeah,
There's no band anymore.
There's no band. Yeah,
It's a shame
not to
'cause
say that we're not looking for bands.
I would
Ooh.
love a live band like
Yeah.
D Generation X
I
style.
know-
You know when they're
yeah,
coming out.
can you
As
imagine?
long as they
Play the
don't do the
intros.
anthem. You know what I mean? Don't do the anthem on guitar. No.
I know, none of that.
No.
I tell you what, though, I know someone who is in a band, Koya.
Koya and his
Koya.
wife.
He
Yeah.
actually performed in the first show.
Was that
Did
was that
he?
him? Yeah.
He did. Him and his wife and their band.
Hey, well, Koya, you
Yeah.
could be on quadruple duty. Koya, hit WrestleFest up, man. You know where to find it. Yeah, it'd be great if you got another band back with the strobe lights, and I love all that.
If they could play everyone's theme song as they came out, that would be amazing.
That'd be the
They
best.
actually played Shaheen's music.
Did they?
Yeah, in the first show.
What would
And
you-
refused to play KJ's though. Yeah.
that should be copyright anyway. That
Should be.
Samoa
Yeah.
Joe.
Yeah.
How's he got the? Has KJ been? He must
You're
know
like, "Ah,
someone.
this is familiar. I've
Yeah.
heard this
I know. It's like
before."
what we because the first time we hear it, nah.
Is that
Joe's
Samoa
like-
Joe comment in WrestleFestDXB? He's out.
Hold
Joe,
on a minute.
Joe,
I
Joe.
guy in a suit comes out we've never seen before. I was like, oh, right, not this time.
Anyway, we're off track.
Yeah,
off
we're
track.
digressing. I just
Yes,
wanted to say as well, how did it come about? Like, and I know you said you trained there
Yeah.
for Pro Wrestling East. How did they just call you? Like, how does it? Do you fancy having a show? Did they watch you stuff in
So
Dubai?
yeah, actually, so what it was the family at Playfight. So we trained at Playfight in London, and the family there, the group that we got there, are very helpful in the sense where
Were you in that? Were you there at the time they asked you to compete?
no, actually no. So they called us later on when we had left the UK.
After they seen you train?
Yeah.
Right.
So we trained, and there are a lot of people from Playfight who made it onto Pro Wrestling East, and it's just word of mouth. They were like, these guys are really good. If you're looking for someone, MK actually had a match himself in a singles competition, so he made his UK debut a bit earlier than me, the year before. So he had made it when we were actually training there.
Right.
MK had gone. I drove MK down to Cambridge, and we all did like a little road trip. But MK had a match there. They loved MK's match in the Fatal 4-Way. And then MK went and was like, by the way, there's a guy named Fayez who came with me, and he's also really good.
What a
blah,
boy.
blah, blah.
What a boy.
Yeah, so
Got
they
your
gave us-
back.
That's
Yeah.
a day
Yeah,
one boy
yeah.
right there.
So that sparked a little tag team thing, because I was like, oh, he actually trusts me, you know? So from then, they were like, okay, Fayez. They messaged me. They were like, Fayez, we definitely want you on the show, but it's a matter of when.
Okay.
So they didn't have a show up until that show that they did, and they were like, "We would love to have you guys over if you guys are in the UK." And that's how we got it. So they messaged us, seeing our training and word of mouth from the people who have been there, and that's why I say we're like a close family.
Yeah.
Because everyone trusts each other and their abilities to do what they do. So I'm really grateful to everyone who helped out in that specific journey.
It must have been an honor to be able to fly the flag as well of WrestleFest across the globe with your best friend.
Yeah, 100%. It was really, really a really proud moment for us both, because it was the first time two Emiratis have ever been together in a tag team on a show in the UK.
That's a first as well.
That's a first, yeah.
All these firsts that we're knowing about and learning.
I love that.
Yeah, so it was history making. It was really, really fun.
With yourself and MK, you were given another huge opportunity to press, and that was at the Progress event.
Yes.
Where so Grayson hadn't seen much of this team, the Sunshine Machine.
Yeah.
I seen them a couple of months earlier at Rev Pro Live. They were against Aussie Open.
Yeah.
And they beat Aussie Open, and it was a hell of a match. And that was the first time I seen them live. I knew a bit about them.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, because when they come in, you don't, they're very flamboyant. You don't think they're going to be. And they came in the ring, and I said to you, didn't I? I said, this could be the match of the night. Because I know what they could do, and I know I've seen you and MK's acting. It was a brilliant match, by the way, and the ring was moving all over the show. And you bought merch as well from the Sunshine Machine.
I've got the orange hoodie.
Do you reckon that was the coming of age for you both?
Yes.
Hanging it with the two big stars like that?
100%. One of the top moments in my career. It was the first time me and MK have ever been a tag team. And imagine being put up against an already established, long-time tag team. And it was kind of like a little full circle moment, because MK and I grew up together, best friends. We trained together, and Sunshine Machine actually trained at the school we trained at in the UK as well. They come in and do some guest coaching, and they train in the advanced classes, and they do a little like warm up, and so we've actually trained with them there.
Oh wow!
So like a full circle moment to have, and I know that this match specifically has been in the works for a long time. I feel like it was destiny to happen, because the amount of times that different promotions have said that you guys are going against Sunshine Machine, or like close people. So we'd hear it from like at the early
it's come
stages.
up before.
Yeah, it's come up before, and it was gonna be in the UK, and we were supposed to do something in the UK between MK and I and Sunshine Machine, but nothing came about. So it's a full circle moment to have it come to my hometown and actually have the biggest moment of my life.
It was amazing.
And MK's life. Like, it was one of the greatest matches we've had to date, and the whole coming about of it, and how we just smashed it in the ring.
Did you feel like I belong in it?
100%. And the feeling after the match when they like went down on the knee and like actually showed they like the respect. Yeah, that was like a real heartfelt moment. Like we were really proud of what we did, and we felt like we could conquer the world after that.
And you didn't tag team since, have you?
No. No.
Once you fit
Mortal enemies
the
now.
elite. I know you're mortal enemies, yeah.
Yeah, we had that little stint.
I carried you the whole time during that tag match.
Yeah.
That's what it is, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, some of my best matches are with MK, because we have a little chemistry going on there, and I feel like we like the amount of emotion that I have for him, both hatred and love.
Yeah.
Is just inexplainable. Like, when we're in the ring, I can only show it with what I can do, and I've shown it in the matches we've had. I mean, I don't think I've had louder chops with
MK specifically.
Yeah, exactly, MK specifically. So, and it always seems we'd always cross paths. So there's always a moment where we'd end up doing something together. It always seems like it's destiny to have us both. And I don't want to be like a little mark and be like, oh, it's kind of like this, but it feels like Sammy Kevin energy.
Right, okay.
You know, so
It's going to come full circle one day.
Hopefully. You never know. We have the WrestleFestDXB logo on our tights at WrestleMania.
Yeah, you never know. You
But
never
also,
know.
Those tag team titles are still there, though. They've been
yeah.
introduced.
Yeah, you've got tag team
Yeah.
titles now.
Now we have a goal, so maybe we can put our differences aside.
Do you think maybe one day we might see... it'd take a lot.
Yeah. I think with the things we've been through and the shit we've been through, it will take a lot.
Yeah, because the way your paths are heading are two different directions at the moment.
Completely
Different directions.
But it
I
could
think
be-
we have
could be a
our
head-to-head collision
yeah,
soon,
We
though.
have our eyes on something specific.
Yeah. We'll
but,
get into that.
but yeah.
Well, we talked about the past. Let's talk about the present, the future. You're coming off the back of an impressive performance yet again in the Fatal 4-Way at 0 to Infinity. Didn't quite get the job done. How are you feeling after that?
I feel like I almost had it. I was doing so well. Came in, cleaned house, destroyed Kuya, destroyed MK.
Mm-hmm.
Eli Hush came in, destroyed him.
Clown shit.
Bounced him off.
Yeah.
Clown
Yeah,
shit.
he's trying to look.
Shout out to
have
Ali Reza
some
there.
fun.
Yeah, Ali Reza, massive fan.
And then we got Eric.
Did you hear him talk shit about you in the last?
Did you listen to the Ramsey pod?
Thomas, yeah.
Yeah. Here we go.
I did.
Yeah,
and
you take the. You
The floor is yours.
The floor is yours.
he talks a lot of shit. To be honest, I mean, if he wants to match it in the ring, we have two completely different styles. But if you want to talk strength, I definitely have the upper hand here. He might be able to be a bit more technical and might be able to pull in a submission or two, but you've seen what I can do when someone puts me in a submission hold. I mean, MK's put me in the guillotine 100 times, and it's always a breeze to just flick him off. Just pick him up and throw him off my shoulders. So,
He is a specialist, though.
I mean, I'm not too scared, or I'm not scared at all.
I love that.
So if Eric does want to come for me, he knows where he can find me. I mean, we've been eye to eye in the ring before. We had one match before, and I've never had a match with him, like a full-on match. We've had that little collision, I would call it, ended in a double countout, but that's not a match that I'm proud of, or I want to put down in the books. I want a real match, you know. So if Eric does want to come after me, I mean, we like he said, he has his eyes on bigger things as well. I do too. So we kind of are going in the same path. If we meet down the line, it's a little treat for you guys, but I'm not saying that I'm going to target him because he's not my priority right now.
Well, we've had the loss in the Fatal 4-Way because he cost you, he put you through the table.
Yes, yeah, unexpected. I mean, I was planning to put him through the
Yeah,
table.
you set it up. It was all ready.
He just came out of nowhere with the bulldog.
The double count out,
Yep.
where he said he choked you out after the
Oh,
bell.
no, I wouldn't say he choked me out.
I mean, we didn't have a good view.
I didn't see it. I didn't see it.
I would say I was fading, but I did not fade completely. And he had me at like a little disadvantage. I was focused on hearing the counts, was trying to listen to the counts, but I was being choked out. I was trying to get out of it. It was a whole little mess.
A lot was going on. We need a decider.
Need a tables match.
We need a Hell in a Cell.
Yeah. First one to the table.
First blood.
As long as it's not a big show, foot to the table, I'll be fine.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Tables match.
Yeah, just a stomp.
Yeah.
We need a decider, and we need it soon.
Straight out of
Yeah,
Satwa.
100%.
I'm calling it.
Yeah.
I'm calling it. Thoughts on that, though? Obviously, your rivalry with MK. Was there a little bit of, if someone's going to win and get the title shot, there's a little bit of happiness, maybe? Anything?
So with MK specifically,
Because he did win the match, the Fatal 4-Way, and obviously getting the title match against Nomi Knox.
I mean, it doesn't matter to me. At the end of the day, whoever's holding that title when I'm ready for it it's going to be their loss. You know, at the end of the day, it's not my problem, or I shouldn't care really who's holding it, because until I want to go for that title, I think that's when they should be worried.
Well,
Yeah.
some may say you have a bigger obstacle than that right now. The big announcement. We speculated for weeks. There was I did state that I thought it would be Ramsey. The big boy got the big spot. Finally announced that you go one-on-one with none other than the over-the-top wrestling champion, Trent 7. That is a huge match. That is a massive match. How proud are you of being chosen to be the one, the big one, with the big spot?
That is like something that I would never have believed if you told me even a year ago that this was happening. To be going up against Trent Seven, someone who I've watched both in the indie scene and his journey all the way through to WWE and NXT UK and all throughout his career, and now getting put in the ring with him is a real proud moment for me. And when I saw the post pop up, I couldn't believe it. The management did tell me that it was happening.
Okay. How long before the announcement?
Not long before.
Really? Wow.
Not long before.
Wow.
It was like I
I
didn't
hope I'm free.
I didn't believe it until I had seen the graphic. Like I did not believe it until I saw it was happening.
Someone
like,
just pranking you on the phone.
yeah, like because it didn't.
Trent Seven.
It didn't even happen until the very end of the last show as well. Like the graphic didn't come up in the commercial break.
it didn't,
or like,
no.
It didn't come up in any part, and it only came up when everyone was leaving. So I was like,
We
this
missed it ourselves.
Yeah, so I was like, it's definitely a prank.
And then they didn't bring it up again.
Yeah.
For like for 2-3 weeks. I bet
Yeah.
even you were like,
Yeah, I was like, is this a prank? And so I had to like go backstage and rewind the little promo thing so I could take a picture of it to just make sure
check.
that it's
Yeah.
real. But yeah, I'm ready. Like I've never been ready for something in my life, more ready for something in my life than this match. I mean, I've prepared myself. I've been going to training even more than I have before. Trying to like up my game a bit. I've been studying Trent Seven even closer.
there's a lot of footage.
A lot of footage, and that's I think that's my advantage.
That's,
Yeah.
100%.
Is he doesn't know too much about me, so I'm the dark horse in this match. He doesn't know what to expect, and I'm here to give him the unexpected because, like I told you guys earlier, I have a lot of tricks under my sleeve that even you guys haven't seen yet, even the WrestleFest people haven't seen yet. So, and a challenger like Trent Seven, I don't think I've ever faced someone as tough as Trent Seven. And he's a guy that can throw a mean chop. So,
Here we go. Chops galore.
Chop suey.
Yeah, you guys are definitely gonna have ChopFestDXB this coming April 29th. So.
Chops.
I can't wait.
Oh.
I'm going to caveat it though, because I have to. You don't have the best momentum coming into this match. So how are you going to cope coming in the biggest match of your life? You say you're prepared. The momentum's not there.
Yeah,
He's coming in as champion.
yeah.
Maybe if you do win as well, will we get a championship match in the future?
So that's another thing. So yes, I don't have momentum going in, but I feel like I'm going in with a good resume. I feel like the people I've beaten in my past, the people I've gone up against, really shows that I am up to the test, even though I've come short in a few of them. That's fine. But I let my wrestling do the talking, not the 1, 2, 3 at the end.
Mm-hmm.
So if he's seen any of my matches before, he'll know what to expect. But then I'm gonna give him something unexpected after, you know. So he would see the baseline of what I can do, but what you all don't know I can do is gonna be something that he can. So I feel like that's my upper hand here. Is yes, I don't have the momentum necessarily, but going into it with the knowledge of what I can do and the knowledge on what he can do as well, I feel like that in itself would work in my favor.
Are you still training even though it's Ramadan as well without
Yeah,
the fluids in?
yeah.
How hard's that been?
So it is tough, but at the end of the day, we pace ourselves in a way where we try and not get too tired or like take a few breaks, more breaks than needed, and do the odd night class if we need to as well, like do a class from 9 to 11 p.m. or something really late. So it really depends. So, but we keep this job. You never stop.
Of course.
you never stop training, and that's the thing. So
Yeah, exactly. Break your fast, get back to it. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? We had to break
exactly.
some necks.
yeah,
Of course. And you're going to be fully hydrated for that match.
yeah.
So it's going
100%.
to be like a Goku as a sensu being.
Yeah.
Faiz is here.
100%.
I am pumped for that match, by the way.
I'm pumped for the whole event as well. It looks
It's
a stacked card.
Jeez.
It's a stat card. Now, you said that you're all friends.
Yeah.
You know, I'd be a bit jealous if you were the one who was chosen to be Trent. I'm not trying to stir some beef here backstage, but if I saw you were the main guy, because that is the spot. I'm not sugarcoating nothing
Yeah.
here. We obviously got Trey Buzzard here coming, and Jason Reed, and obviously Andy Roberts as well. Got some big names coming. Trent Seven's the ticket seller. Trent Seven's the big spot. Trent Seven's the guy we all know. We all know Trent Seven. We've all dreamt of being able to have a match. Well, not us, but obviously wrestlers like yourself.
Yeah, 100%.
Do you think there'll be a bit of animosity at all?
So, I would take this as, if I were in their shoes at this point, I would take it as kind of okay, I need to step up.
Love it.
You know, it's kind of that mentality that we need to go. It's okay, he gets a spot against Trent Seven, but why? Okay, look back, see why. Like, I've proven why I deserve this spot, you know? Same with the other guys in the other matches. They've proven that they deserve that spot. I mean, Shaheen's been the top guy of our WrestleFestDXB.
Yeah.
And he's deserved every match he's had ever since. But now it's my time.
Yeah, 100%.
You know? So it's my time to show not only the people in WrestleFestDXB in Dubai, but the world what Fayez can do. I haven't gotten that big break yet, and I deserve it. And I'm going to take my opportunity this time, April 29th. I'm going to show the world what I can do. You know, put a mark, put a stamp on the world of who Fayez is, give the world a big chop.
Step up or get stepped on.
My handprint.
This is exciting, mate. I am pumped.
I am pumped. I mean,
Goosebumps.
will this be the main event?
It should be.
Yeah. I think it should.
I think it should be as well.
I think it
For
should
sure.
be.
Go home happy.
When will you know? On the night?
Yeah, usually on the night we get the match order.
Because we got the shock with Akira Shaheen being the second. No, was it the second
Yeah,
match?
second match. Yeah, it was.
We were
After
like,
the
what?
tag teams.
We were like, what?
It was about to be the opener.
We said that. I did. Oh.
Why was it not the opener? I don't.
I don't know.
You opened, didn't you?
Did I?
Oh no,
Cain and Abel.
you were
Cain
the
and
match
Abel.
after.
Cain and
You were the match after because I remember Koya was still sweating from breathing.
Because I thought, because I predicted that would be match of the night.
Yeah.
The Akira versus Shaheen. But
And
then
then you were wrong.
I was wrong. It was actually the next match which you were part of. I was pumped for that match.
That was a hell of a match.
Yeah.
The Akira match, though, what was that like watching that backstage and being someone you've got to come in after that match?
Crowd's just gone crazy for it. So now you're thinking, is it gonna subside? The crowd.
The come down. That's usually the come down spot.
But it
That's
wasn't.
always we're always.
That's the toughest
usually
spot.
Scared. Yeah, it's like, especially when we look at the match order, we kind of look at things and make like, okay, this makes sense. Like, this person's character is a little slow paced, so put a high paced match first, and then put a little slow paced match after. Blah blah. But when it came to like Akira, Shaheen. And then the 5-way after, we're like, oh, are you sure you want us to go like right after you guys? And he was like, so the reasoning behind that and why it made sense was because a 5-way at the start is, especially the way we do it, the legacy rules, is 2 people in the ring. Every 2 minutes, a new entrant comes in. And then the pins only start when all 5 are in.
Yeah, we love that. It's like war games.
Exactly. So it's a little slow paced at the beginning. And then it gets high paced. So it's kind of like we had almost little like a little small match before the real thing, which was the 5 when all 5 were right in the ring. So it made sense, and we weren't too worried.
Was it KJ you decided that?
Yeah.
Are you
Obviously.
a KJ guy?
No.
No. I like good.
I'm a Fayez guy. I'm not a anyone guy.
Like Ramsey, just solo.
Solo, you got to be. And what I will say, WrestleFestDXB, is stop your fucking intermissions.
Yeah.
It gives a chance for people to fuck off.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
true.
And I don't like that.
It's true. It's not fair.
Just go bang, bang, bang. Let's go, go,
100%.
go.
Yeah, go home.
You want to buy merch,
100%.
buy at the start. You want to buy popcorn, buy it
Buy
during
at
the
the
show.
start, yeah.
100%.
Or buy it when KJ's talking to the mic.
Amen.
But don't stop the show. Keep it going. If you want to get your merch, if you want to get anything, do
Before
it when
and
KJ's
after.
on the mic. Boom,
That's
done. Thank
Agreed.
you very much. Let them keep going because you know what? But it ruins the momentum.
you can't
Everyone's-
give them a chance
No.
to leave.
Yeah, and it's and the thing is we do the shows, and it's always like when we have the intermission is and I'm one to, and people can vouch for me on this, and I'm always the one to be like, time.
It's always over 15 as well.
It's like, do we start now? Like, let's start now. Let's restart now. Come on, are we start? And I'm against the intermissions because at the end of the day, it does give people to like the whole like it's not even a restart for them. It's kind of like a calm down.
Yeah.
In a sense where like they're shutting down.
It even calms us down and we're doing
calms us.
commentary.
We're
and it's
pumped.
like you're
Yeah.
pumped and you're waiting around for 15 and
People go for a smoke outside. People go and then go,
Yeah,
oh,
should we
should we
go?
just go then?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
People-
not going to start for another 20. Should we just
Yeah.
leave?
People come
Yeah.
and see their friends, and if they're on the start, say like Ramsey said,
Yeah.
he had a bunch of his mates come,
they all left.
and then there was an intermission straight after, so it got them a chance to go, oh, we can just
Come on,
leave
let's
now.
go.
Yeah.
But if you don't have an intermission and leaving during the wrestling show, it looks bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you give them a chance to
100%.
go, see you later.
It's a short show anyway. You don't need an intermission.
Yeah, yeah, true.
Yeah, just keep going, keep the energy going, bang it out.
They need to look at that for sure.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
we're going to be doing commentary as well. That's why we were glad the Akira Sheen was on early, because
Yeah.
we might have been tired at
Yeah.
the end of it.
That's why I thought it would be after the intermission to keep people around for that match.
You keep them
And then-
waiting.
and then,
Yeah,
and then
that
it
is
came
true.
out early.
That is true.
People went, thanks very much. I've seen Akira
Yeah,
now.
yeah.
It's like putting you and Trent Seven on at the very start,
Yeah.
or the big boys at the start,
Yeah,
and then
you've seen that.
you got El Muerto on that towards the end. You're like, I'm not going to stay around for that.
Yeah.
KJ, if you're listening, sort it out, yeah? Sort it out. Or you're going to get a chop courtesy of the chop keeper.
Jeez.
Your former partner, MK.
Yeah.
Sorry to bring MK into it again. It might be
it's
an
all right,
MK
it's
cast.
all right.
But you've got a lot there. He's challenging for the DXB World Championship
Yes.
on the same night. If he was to win, how would it feel going one-on-one with your former partner for the title?
It's an easy win there. Prize. Done.
Yeah. Yeah.
Prediction show
Jason
already.
said it right. I mean, it's I've beaten him on all occasions. MK has never pinned me 1, 2, 3. Has never beaten me in a match ever. So
Apart from the Fatal 4-Way.
I mean, if you want to count that as a loss,
Just, you know,
yeah.
just throwing that in there.
But
Not cleanly one-on-one.
Okay, yeah, in a singles match.
Okay.
Yes. Okay. Let's
Never
take it
pinned
in
you.
there. Yeah.
Never pinned you or tapped you out.
Yeah. So yeah.
Has anyone tapped you out?
No, I've never given up. No,
They choked you
I-
out.
I like-
Ramsey's choked you out.
he's choked me out, but it will. Yeah, I mean,
Never tapped.
yeah, I mean the ref didn't check if I was knocked out or anything, so it wasn't like, oh, he's knocked out. You know, it was like I was like kind of taking a little nap. So
Oh, we'll see.
Yeah.
Hey, you've got the biggest match of your life coming up,
Yeah.
and we're going to be there. We're going to be pumped. TouchGrass Wrestling going to be commentating on it. Make sure you watch it back as well and listen in. What is 2023 going to look like for Fayez?
I mean, if it's starting off with Trent 7, I mean, the sky's the limit up from here. We have like 4 more shows this year, 5 more shows this year. There's a lot planned, like in a sense where the shows are lined up on dates that are just so perfect for me. So,
It's meant to be.
yeah, it's meant to be. Like the stars are aligning. I think it's Fayez's year this year.
It's the year of Fayez.
Yeah. 100%.
I think so. I think we need more shows as well. If there's only 5 coming up,
Yeah.
I know that they've been confirmed, like Straight Outta Satwell, Throwback, and I'm
Great
not sure
names,
we'll,
by the way.
We'll,
Yeah.
we'll get into that on our next podcast.
Mm-hmm.
But we think there should be more shows. We think there's too much time between this show and the next show that it loses a momentum, it loses storylines,
Yes.
it loses
It's
all
hard
that.
for us to keep content going, but we do.
Yeah.
Got 5 weeks to get stuff going
geez.
out.
Still trying to get you guys like to the next show, to the next show, to the next show. And I think this needs to be something else. I'm not sure what it needs to be, but it needs to be something.
I think my personal opinion is that WrestleFest at least needs to be 2 times a month.
Like 100%
Oh,
minimum.
I love that.
A minimum of 2 times a month. I feel like with that we can not only build on stories, but we can keep the bangers coming, keep the matches, keep the just keep a story going. You know, you have someone holding the title, the world title, and it's months between shows, or like a month and then a month after. So you're gonna get like 3-month reigns and 2-month reigns and a month reign, like guaranteed. But when you have shows like every two times a month, it kind of gives you that little spontaneous little, oh, someone picked up the title now.
Yeah.
You know, like
I agree.
So-
And it doesn't have to be a big show. Twice
Yeah.
a month, it could be a small show and then a big show at the end of the
Yeah.
month, you know,
Yeah.
just to keep the momentum going, to cut
Yeah.
promos, to change titles, to,
Yeah.
oh, that, do you not see that? In the beginning of the
Yeah.
month, someone just got the tag team
Yeah.
title. Oh,
Yeah.
geez, okay, what happened? I wasn't there.
Yeah.
Well, go back and watch it.
Yeah.
Do that, do this.
There needs to be more content.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There has to be.
100%.
Because it's rapidly growing very quickly. Obviously, we've got the podcast now talking about it. A lot's coming as well, and that it's not completely selling out, which is which is really, I'm questioning that. I don't know how the Akira one didn't sell
Yeah,
out.
yeah,
Which
we were
I
a
think they're going to start pumping they need to put more marketing in, more ads, because this should be getting sold out.
Yeah.
And if people do come, and if you haven't been, make sure you come and check it out. Support these wrestlers because it is a great show.
Yeah.
It's an amazing show. My wife comes as well, Mrs. Romano. It's great for women.
Yeah.
We obviously got Roxy now.
Yes.
We need one more
Homegrown.
woman wrestler. Is there anyone coming through? Is there anyone coming through to expand the roster? Do you know of anyone who's training? Is there anything, a little hot tape?
There are.
I can tell by that
few,
face.
Oh, here we go.
A few people coming up the ranks.
NDAs though, yeah. Can't say nothing.
Yeah, we
Oh, have
can't
they been
really
signed?
mention them. They're works in progress, but there are people still coming up, and
The roster's growing.
yeah, the roster
The
is
roster's
growing.
growing. You need to give
We
us
need
some
more.
inside information to these people off camera, yeah?
Yeah.
So that we can bring them on the show.
100%.
They might
Yes.
not be wrestlers yet, but they're
Yeah.
coming through so we can
Yeah. We
could
interview
do
them. We can
promos
talk about
on
them.
their process.
Yeah.
Coming soon.
Coming soon.
100%, yeah.
She's coming in or he's coming in wanting a chance at WrestleFestDXB and they're on the show cutting promos on
Yeah.
people here and there. And then eventually you could just slowly build them in because then it'll
Yeah.
get interest from people.
Yeah, who's this?
Who's that? Why?
Yeah.
They're not even on the show yet,
Yeah,
but they're
exactly.
coming through.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what.
We've got lots of
Yeah.
plans.
Jeez.
Lots of
Yeah.
ideas.
Pumped.
Yeah,
The stage is set. Bro, where can they find you? Tell the people.
You can find me on Instagram at Fayez Al Imarat and Twitter as well, Fayez Al Imarat. And yeah, those are my two socials.
New merchandise as well.
Oh,
Yeah.
good
Plug,
merch.
plug the merch.
The Chopkeeper Fayez. You can get yours in all sizes from small to double XL at April 29th at the next show.
Catch this man. Take on Trent 7 at Sacred Sands, 29th of April, 7 p.m. Warehouse 4. Get your tickets now, Virgin Megastore online or in store. Use promo code TGDUB10 at checkout to get 10% off all ticket purchases. Thank you for coming on, my friend. It's been a pleasure. Any final words for Trent 7 before you see him in the squared circle at Sacred Sands?
Yeah, so you remember Mustache Mountain? I'm the avalanche to come crashing that down. So see you on April 29th, Trent.
Enough said.